at some downlight globes today. LED variety, probably mainly the ones off eBay. There's a few getting around and I've been a bit unsure myself on what exactly stacks up against a standard 50 watt downlight globe that you would normally find in your old downlights. So we're going to have a look at two in particular today because that's all I've got. At the moment I've got this particular one here. Look, I don't know, that's the box it come in. Really doesn't show much except for save 90% of your power. And look, on the energy efficiency side of things, these globes, LED globes, are definitely going to save you money over your standard halogen globes. 90%? Nah, not really. If you're saving 90%, then you're using a 50 watt downlight globe. You would have to basically be substituting a 5 watt globe in there roughly. These are 12 watt globes. So we're going to look at this particular one here. You might recognise that off an eBay listing. Look, these are off ebay.com.au, not the .com site. So these are the ones that are mainly available in Australia. The other one I've got, which is probably the more expensive of the ones that you'll find on eBay, is this particular unit here. It actually, from the bottom, looks very much like a standard downlight globe, your standard halogen globe. So you can see there that it is actually quite large. Look, they're what they call a GU10 fitting. These are the 240 volt style ones. So that's your GU10 style pins. Right, I'm not even going to go into the 12 volt side of things, your low voltage downlights. Basically, there's no point to them. To run a 12 volt downlight, you need to have a transformer in line, which a lot of you may or may not be familiar with already with your current downlights. One, they break and fail. Two, you'll find most downlights at the moment can't use electronic or current electronic transformers. There's a particular style or ones that are particularly noted that they're for LED globes that you need to actually use. I'm trying to think whether that's only just for dimming purposes or for all round. Either way, waste of time. Transformers, you've got an efficiency loss in the particular transformer itself. There's no reason to have that in line at all. Go for the GU10. They're a 240 volt light. You can convert your standard low voltage downlight into a standard 240 volt downlight real easy, and I'll show you how that's done shortly as well. Again, just with gear bought off eBay. Was heaps cheaper than going to my local electrical wholesaler. Anyway, look, let's go have a bit of a look. Alright, that's our two globes. I'm just going to pick the larger one on the right there, and we'll go see how that one goes. Okay, look, this is both of them in the kitchen. My messy kitchen at that. The LED downlight globe is on the right, and the standard 50 watt halogen globe is on the left. Now, you can basically see that it is somewhat very similar. I can tell you now, the light is much cleaner standing under the right hand LED globe than it is standing under the somewhat still slightly brighter 50 watt globe on the left. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to attempt to take a temperature reading of this globe. As you can imagine, this is quite difficult. So look, we're getting peaks of around 50 odd degrees there. If I try and get up inside it, the LEDs aren't that hot. I have felt it. The hottest part is around the top of those cooling fins. And this globe has been running for a couple of hours now. I can still disconnect that globe by hand and change it out. Righto, let's give this one a try. Alright, this is the other globe. Now, as you can see, that particular globe, the smaller globe, is actually slightly dimmer. It is a 12 watt rated globe, not 12 volt. It is a 240 volt globe. In saying that, it still is pretty good. I think I'd be happy with that as a replacement. Like I said, not as bright. If you're having difficulty with your downlights now seeing, I probably wouldn't replace it with that globe. However, if you're finding yourself having plenty of light already, it's a pretty good replacement for a 50 watt globe. Alright, so look, that's your standard downlight. That's it, removed from the roof with the old iron core transformer still attached to it. We're going to do a conversion on this particular light. I'm going to try and attempt to get a temperature reading out of this. Now, that's your standard halogen downlight globe. So I did get peaks up a sec ago at nearly 180 degrees. This is centigrade too, this isn't Fahrenheit. So look, you can just see that the temperature that these run at is phenomenal compared to the LEDs. So I'm going to rip that old shit out now and put my nice new shiny chrome unit back in. This is your 240 volt downlight kit here basically. What I've got on the left, I went and bought myself a new gimbal fitting. It's a nice new shiny, I don't know, chromey looking one because, I don't know, personally I think white ones look terrible. Over here, again, this is just off eBay. I think 10 of these in a box cost me $25. All it is, that black part there I'm holding, is just basically a junction box for your 240 volt wiring. Nothing flashed there, it's only got small terminal holes. Anyone who's had an experience with downlights would hate these because, again, they're those little tiny terminals inside there, they're not the large terminals. And look, it just comes on the end with your standard 240 volt GU10 socket. They're a pretty solid, robust kind of unit. Like, some people might hesitate to stray from the low voltage units only because they think, oh no, I might zap myself changing the globe or something. Look, I'll be honest, you'd have a bit of trouble zapping yourself. They're pretty well insulated. The actual contacts are tucked away real nice in there, so you know, you'd be doing well to do any damage to yourself. I'm going to now fit that onto my gimbal. Unfortunately, they're not the exact ones I was hoping for. They do come with a slightly different configured steel bracket that clips on a lot easier. Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to modify this ever so slightly to fit it on. See you in a sec. Alright, well, it's not exactly a work of art, but all I've done is attach the tab to the screw where the downlight gimbal hinges and pivots. Just attached it, bent the bracket up a bit. Meh, it's a bit rough. Fitting hangs down inside, globe attaches there, globe sits inside the fitting. Pretty easy. Alright, that's our conversion done. It's ready to be popped up into the ceiling and have a globe installed in it. Okay, so look, that's it. The downlight on the left has been converted to an LED now. I'm now running 2 LEDs in the kitchen. I'm reasonably happy that those taller, larger lights that we first used are pretty well a decent replacement for a 50 watt downlight globe. Alright, so look, we've put in those 2 downlights. I'm pretty happy with that. So at this stage what I can say is the 12 watt particular globes that I've shown, look, they're, like I said, they're just on eBay Australia, so look them up. I don't know, Star Life or some shop brand or something like that. So look, don't get caught up in the efficiency hype. Look, there's a lot of people out there who are actually sold downlights on the premise that the downlights themselves, those small low voltage downlight globes, were energy efficient, right? And also, there's also a lot of people in the trap that think, oh, they're low voltage, they're only 12 volts, so they don't use any power. Well, this is where it lays. The globes are rated at 50 watts. When they come and read your meter, they come and work out how many watts you've used for the month. So they meter it in kilowatt hours, so that's your watts in thousands per hour. So your 50 watt downlight globe, whether it be the 50 watt halogen 12 volt style or whether it be the 50 watt halogen 240 volt style, they're both a 50 watt globe, and that's how you meet it. So there's nothing energy efficient about a low voltage downlight globe. In fact, they're terrible, because relatively speaking, you know, you've possibly got something like a 60 or 75 watt standard globe in your bedroom that's probably lighting up your whole room, whereas your downlights, you've got a minimum of 2 just to light up your kitchen bench. So straight away there's 100 watts worth of globes just to light up your kitchen bench. So a lot of people have these installed right throughout their kitchen areas, their lounge areas. You know, that if you start counting them up, you got about a dozen just before you even get out of the living room. That's if you're using 50 watt globes, that's 600 watts worth of power. Now, like I said, you can probably replace that with probably 2 or 3 like 75 or 100 watt just standard like batten holder light globes. So it's important to have a grasp on how much downlights are really costing you, and why a conversion to a low wattage LED globe is really going to save you quite a bit of money, especially if it's in an area where, say, you leave the kitchen lights on all night because, you know, they're beside your lounge room and you like that, you know, light just coming through the door just to put a little bit of light in the lounge room or something like that, you know. So, but also don't get sucked into the fact that, you know, like on that box that I had, you know, ooh, 90% saving, wow, you know, come get it, you know, save millions. You're just not going to get that. You're replacing a 50 watt globe with a 12 watt globe, so you can see your savings there, right? You're saving quite a lot, but nowhere near 90%. So you're saving 4/5, whatever that is, 80% maybe, something like that. So like I said, it is a relatively good saving, but yeah, unless your house is absolutely filled with halogen globes and you run them a lot, and then you go replace them all with these low wattage LED globes, you're really not going to see a massive drop in your power bill. But you will find over time the cost of these globes, right off eBay, right, from your wholesaler, these things are, you know, I don't know, your local lighting stores are charging a fortune for these globes still. I've got no idea why. LED technology is not new. That shit's been around since, you know, the 60s. So it's just recently they've decided to make light globes out of them. So yeah, look, buy them online, get them a lot cheaper than what you would anywhere else, and give them time. They will pay back themselves more than many times over. That's about all I got really, so take it easy. I'm going for another beer.